Okay, talk about your new book. When I talk to God, I talk about you. I love that title.
Oh,
What made
thank
you want to write it?
Well, Bradley and I, when obviously we're getting to know each other during our courtship, so much of what you share, obviously, that's all we were doing was talking because we were
Yeah.
social distancing. And we just talked about how much prayer was so important in our lives. And my grandmother instilled that in me in a very young age. And thankfully, because I think that's how I would get through all the trials and tribulations. And I just think that prayer is such a beautiful, like, positive,
It is.
just consciousness, you know, and like what Hamlin, I mean, it's like to see the world sort of come and sort of put their arms and their prayers and their thoughts and their positivity around him and to see that miracle happen, that was incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah, and whether you're religious or not, or you're practicing, it's just like this collective consciousness of positivity that I feel is so important, and everybody can benefit from it. So anyway, we decided to write a book to instill that in young minds and hearts and readers because it helped us in our life, and so that's really the impetus of the book. That's
It's
what we
so
started.
necessary in this day and age, so that's a blessing to
Yeah.
all of us. I
Oh,
love that
I
you're
hope
doing
so.
that. Okay, so tell us about your children's books and what they're about.
Okay, so I wrote 2 children's books, Little Black Girl, Oh, the Things You Can Do, and Little Black Boy, Oh, the Things You Will Do.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. So I wrote Little Black Girl on my own, and then I wrote Little Black Boy with my boyfriend Larry, and they're all about, you know, love and sort of like black joy and empowerment, and they have these like, you know, I wrote them. The first one, Little Black Girl, I wrote as almost like a love letter to my niece. Oh my God, that's us.
I love
that was a video that
that.
took way too long to make. But I wrote it for my niece, and when I was writing it, it felt like, you know, I had all these things that I wanted to say, and the best way to say it was putting it down, you know, like writing it. And then I found it was almost like this sort of retroactive letter to myself and saying all the things that I wish I'd heard growing up, because it takes so long, I think. If only someone could tell you so much of the stuff you know now, it would save you so much anguish and heartache. And, you know, if someone just said when you were a kid, like, everything you are is okay, you know, you can do whatever you put your mind to, I think so many of us would not have to be dealing with the things that we're dealing with as adults.
Nice. I love that. Tell us about your book.
Well, it's a book that is all about sisterhood. It's about 2 little girls, and I based it off of my relationship with my sister, Christina, who's my younger sister, but growing up always the braver and bolder one. I didn't do anything until Christina did it, or if she did it before me or with me. Like I was older, but always leaned on her for everything, and so this book is really to celebrate that relationship that I have with my sister, and also just sisterhood and the importance of being able to find that person that you can turn to at a young age who will give you a hug and help you through a scary moment and give you confidence and bravery, and it's what this book is all about.
I love that, because I have a sister too, and I'm the baby.
Yeah, so you know sisterhood. It's like, it's everything.
It's like your first best friend in a way,
It's a
right?
built-in best friend. My mom was always like, you guys
Built-in
have
best friend.
built-in playmate. I'm like, no, now we, as adults, I mean, like, we still like to play, but like, it's, you know, it's a built-in best friend. You do everything. And also to see her with my 2 girls is so special. And then, you know, to see the similarities in their behavior and then to just like read so many of the same books that my sister and I read.
Yeah.
And I just hope that this becomes like a part of people's bedtime routines with girls.
Sure it will. Your children's book. Tell everybody about it.
I've written another children's book. The first one was called I Don't Want to Read This Book, and it was all the reasons why a child might not want to read a book in a book. So by the end of the book, they've read a book.
That's smart.
I'm tricking the children.
Good job.
And then we thought there was so much more to say, and so we wrote this one, which is called This Book Is Not a Present. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but sometimes when I'll watch specifically my son, open up a present and realize, like, you know, get through all the wrapping and see that it's a book, he'll go, I once told him I have a video of it, but he was like, please do not play this. So I'm gonna respect him, even though he's 7 and expensive. I told him one day, I said, I have a present for you. And he goes, oh my God, what is it? And I go, well, guess. And he goes, is it a Lego video game? And I go, I think you're just combining 2 things that you like. I don't think that's the real thing. I go, no, it's a book. And he went, and then he got really angry and then like stormed off. And meanwhile, I'm dying laughing. And then I showed him the video. I go, can I show this? And he goes, please don't. But it's walking kids through the experience of opening up a gift, realizing it's a book, and being disappointed. And by the end of the book, they've sort of maybe explored those feelings and moved through them, and maybe are happy with the book that they now have.
Love that. Y'all see that? This is great. I think that's a great concept because my son is one of those kids that don't want to pick up a book. Okay. Tell us about the idea of Whiteout. Where did it come from?
Bam. Well, they always blame me for my leadership skills. I collected 5 wonderful other YA authors to write these love stories together. So Whiteout takes place in Atlanta, where we know they can't handle snow. And it's about a bunch of teens stuck with someone they like, someone they might not like, or someone they might have some, unfinished business with. And they're dealing with their own love drama while they're helping 2 friends who have broken up get back together. So I just was like, hey, we should write this book about love for young people.
Nice. Okay. And the first book you did together is getting made by Netflix. It's a series and it's produced by the Obamas.
Yes.
Y'all better get it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is that like?
Oh, yes, tell it.
That was amazing. The entire experience, we had so many people wanting it, for so many people to be interested in bringing this story about Black kids to life on screen, because that was the whole reason we did it. We don't see enough of that. We don't get to see them in love enough. And so for this power couple to say, we love this, we want to do it, I mean, you can't ask for a better, seal of approval.
Definitely not. You guys are on a roll. It's important to show different types of love in the book. How did you show different types and why?
Well, we wanted to show as many different types of love as possible. Not just romantic love, but family love, friendship, That's so important because we never want young people to feel as if you have to be in a relationship to validate yourself. Like, family love is important, friendship is important, but we also want to show LGBTQ plus love. We want to show our Black kids who are queer that, hey, here you are, we have representation for you as well. It's important for us that all kids see themselves in books, no matter what.
Love that. It sounds like, in what way? So, how different you think things would have been if you had these type of books growing up?
I think that my imagination would have been completely different. I would have been a writer first. I'm only a writer because I failed. I failed chemistry. I wanted to be a doctor, and I guess you need to know chemistry in order to become a doctor. And I failed, and I started rereading the books I loved as a kid. And had I seen myself reflected on the page, I feel like I would have gotten to the dream faster. I would have become a writer faster, and I would have been able to imagine myself as the hero of a story, as the love interest, as the person that is capable of saving the world. So I think that it's so, so, so important to provide those windows and mirrors and sliding glass doors for our young people.
Right.
Look, we came ready for you. We came ready.
Now, Angie, you were a rapper?
I was.
Before you were...
Yeah.
Going on, get up.
I mean, if you look at my book titles, my first one, The Hate You Give, came inspired by Tupac. On the Come Up is about a rapper. So hip hop is a huge influence on me as a writer. But when I was a teenager, I hated reading because I couldn't see myself in books. No offense to Twilight, it was huge, but I couldn't connect with that. My mama was not gonna let me date some 600-year-old vampire.
No. No.
So I couldn't connect with books. I connected with hip hop, and I thought that was the only way someone like me could be a storyteller. So from ages 13 till 17, I pursued it. I was doing talent shows, I did a demo, I did radio, all of that. And my mom, God bless her, she supported it all, even when I was bad. So shout out to the moms out there who support even when you know your kid isn't good at it.
Holding it down.
I got her a house now, so we're good.
Right,
You're good. But yeah, it was a way to express myself.
If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.